What's going on, Raider Nation? I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't you be on your honeymoon right now? And you're absolutely right. I am on my honeymoon. But here I am sneaking in this video like I'm pulling off a 4th and long play action pass behind enemy lines. So let's just keep this one between us, alright? Don't go tagging Alex or dropping this link in any family group chats. Look, I love the grind and I love this team. So I made myself a deal. If this video gets 100 subs, I might just risk it all for another upload while I'm technically supposed to be sipping something fruity on a beach somewhere. But hey, that's how much I believe in this content. Now, let's talk about today's show because we got something juicy. We're diving into the top 5 sleeper candidates for the Las Vegas Raiders in the upcoming $2 million Devante season. And I'm not talking about guys at the very bottom of the depth chart who might get a couple of preseason snaps. Nah, these are real deal impact players who, despite being under the radar, could be the difference makers in some close games. When I say sleeper, I mean players that the media is sleeping on, maybe even the fan base is sleeping on. But by the time the season kicks into gear, these guys might just become household names for the nation. Let's kick this off with a name some of y'all might have forgotten about. Raheem Mostert. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Isn't Ashton Jeanty supposed to be the guy this year? And yeah, Jeanty's a beast. We're talking top 5 running back potential, no question. He's got the thunder and the lightning all in one package. But don't sleep on Mostert. This dude still has some serious juice. He's got that legit 4-4 speed, and he's averaged over 5 yards per carry across his career. That kind of home run ability, you can't teach that. And let's not forget how he's got history with Chip Kelly. There's already chemistry there, and that's going to matter when Kelly's drawing up plays that involve running backs slipping into the flats or taking a screen pass to the house. Now, is Mostert going to be the lead back? No, but I'm telling you right now, he's going to get his touches. I'd project somewhere in the range of 80 to CM touches this season, enough to leave a mark. He's going to be a dangerous weapon in the passing game, especially in those third down situations where you need someone quick, elusive, and experienced. Mostert isn't the guy that's going to put up monster stats every week, but he is absolutely the type of player who can rip off a game-changing play when you least expect it. When you look at this Raiders backfield, you've got the hammer in Jeanty, and then you got the lightning bolt in Mostert. It's going to be a fun combo. Next up, let's switch sides of the ball and talk about a mountain of a man. Defensive tackle, Lucky Fanu. Look, last season, his stat line didn't exactly pop off the page. But here's what matters more, 6'5", 335 libras. That is a problem for opposing offenses. And with Christian Wilkins dealing with injuries and some uncertainty about when he'll be 100%, Lucky's going to have to step up. And from everything we've seen in the offseason workouts, he's already being leaned on to do just that. He's been the guy taking first-team reps when Wilkins hasn't been out there, and that speaks volumes. I'll tell you what I think the Raiders are going to do here. They're going to plug Lucky into that old John Jenkins role. He's going to eat up double teams, plug the middle, and make life easier for the guys around him. Think about some of the young talent we've got at defensive tackle right now. J.J. Peggs, Tonka Hemingway, Zach Carter, Jonu Lalu. All solid prospects, but every young player needs a big body next to them doing the dirty work. That's Lucky. He might not fill the stat sheet, but he's going to be a key piece in the trenches. The kind of guy who makes the guys around him better just by being out there. Now, before I keep going down the list, let me say something. There's been a lot of hype around some of the younger wide receivers on this roster. You've heard the names, Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton Jr., Tommy Mellott. And don't get me wrong, I'm hyped for those guys too. I'm practically driving the hype train for Tucker and Thornton, but there's one name that's flying way too low on the radar, Jack Beck. And that's wild to me because this guy was drafted in the 2nd round. You'd think that'd come with a little more buzz, but here's why I think people are sleeping on Beck. He doesn't have that flashy highlight reel game. What he does have is physicality. He's the type of wide receiver who blocks like a tight end, and that's going to get him on the field. Even if he's not a full-time starter, his ability to contribute in different ways as a blocker, as a possession guy, as a chain mover is going to make him valuable in this offense. I see him as that gritty, underappreciated guy who does all the little things right and earns his spot because of it. Chip Kelly loves those types of players, and I think he's going to find creative ways to use Beck all over the field. All right, let's keep the momentum rolling. Now I know some of y'all probably skipped past the last few lines because you're thinking, come on, let's get to the top 2. And don't worry, we're almost there. But before we jump into that, I want to give a quick shout out to a player that's going to bring some serious heat on the defensive side, Elandon Roberts. This guy's a tone setter, 30 years old, veteran leadership, and he brings the kind of energy that makes you want to run through a wall. He's coming off a season where he had 46 tackles, which doesn't sound like a ton, but let's put it in perspective. The 2 seasons before that, over 7 tackles each. That's no fluke. Raiders fans should recognize the vibe here. Remember how everyone felt when Robert Spillane left Pittsburgh. Steelers fans were legit heartbroken. That's exactly how they're feeling now about Roberts. The guy brings that same dog mentality. He's got the green dot, meaning he's calling the plays on defense, and I'll say this, I think he's a sneaky captain candidate. He fits exactly what Pete Carroll wants at linebacker. Leadership, toughness, and brains. And while I don't know if he's going to match Spillane's numbers exactly, I do know that he's going to bring that boom. You'll hear the hits. You'll feel them through the TV screen. That's the kind of guy Elandon Roberts is. And finally, let's talk about my biggest sleeper of all. The one player I think could turn the most heads in 2025, DJ Glaze. Look, if you're not familiar with him yet, get familiar. Because I'm telling you, the coaching staff has made it very clear that they believe in this guy. Coming off his rookie year, Glaze posted a 66 Ponto grade on Pro Football Focus, which, considering the absolute disaster that was our offensive line coaching and quarterback situation last year, is nothing short of impressive. I mean, between James Craig's schemes and the revolving door of Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, it's amazing Glaze didn't get thrown to the wolves. But he held his own. And what really convinces me about Glaze isn't just the numbers. It's the moves that the front office didn't make. They had multiple chances in free agency and the draft to bring in someone to challenge him. They didn't. Instead, they doubled down. They brought in Alex Kappa to play next to him at right guard. They drafted Ashton Jeanty to run behind him. That shows trust. That shows belief. And I think it's going to pay off in a big way. If I had to rank the Raiders' offensive linemen right now, I'd put Glaze at number 3, right behind Colton Miller and Jackson Powers Johnson. And to be honest, I think by the end of the season, he could challenge for that number 2 spot. He's that good. The tools are there, the attitude is there, and now he's got the system and support around him to thrive. Watch out for DJ Glaze. This dude's about to make some noise. So those are my top 5 sleeper picks going into 2025. And I'll be real with you, I had to fight myself to keep it to just 5. There are some other names floating around in my head, but these are the guys I'm planting my flag on. They might not be the ones selling jerseys right now, but they're the ones who could be swinging games when it matters most. Now that we've gone through that top 5 list, let me just tell you something straight up. These aren't just some off-season filler names. These are the type of guys who are going to win the Raiders a few football games this season. Not every win comes from the stars, from the big-name veterans, or the flashy rookies that get all the headlines. Sometimes it's the gritty lineman who holds up a block for half a second longer. Sometimes it's the rotational defensive tackle who stuffs the 3rd and 1. Sometimes it's the wide receiver who doesn't light up the scoreboard but springs a touchdown run with a key downfield block. And that's what makes this list so important. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a surprising twist that's sending shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill, star wide receiver Devante Adams has reportedly opened up about his time with the Las Vegas Raiders, suggesting that leaving the team may have been a misstep. Though nothing has been confirmed officially, whispers around the league suggest that Adams has been candid behind closed doors, even going so far as to admit, "I regret it every day." The quote, if verified, could mark a dramatic shift in the perception of Adams' tumultuous stint outside of Green Bay. When he made the high-profile move to Las Vegas in 2022, many viewed it as a bold, calculated decision to reunite with college teammate Derek Carr and emerge as the face of a franchise ready for resurgence. However, With Carr's subsequent departure and the Raiders' ongoing struggles to find consistency at the quarterback position, Adams' dream scenario may have quickly turned into a frustrating reality. Now, league insiders are speculating that the wideout's recent comments could signal a desire to revisit his past, or at least to distance himself from what's become a stagnant situation in Vegas. While no official trade request has been made, the possibility that Adams could push for a move has reignited conversations among front offices and fan bases alike. Could a reunion with Aaron Rodgers in New York be on the horizon? Could a contender be quietly preparing an offer? Of course, the NFL is no stranger to cryptic messages and veiled hints, especially during the offseason. Players often walk a fine line between expressing dissatisfaction and burning bridges. Still, this latest whisper from Adams' camp has raised eyebrows across the league. Nothing is certain yet, but if there's one thing that's clear, it's this. Devante Adams' future in silver and black is looking less and less certain with each passing rumor. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.